Welcome to our special interview session, where we delve into the pressing issues faced by disabled consumers in the Medicaid ABI Waiver Program in Connecticut. Today, we're joined by an advocate from ABI Resources, a company dedicated to supporting individuals with disabilities. ABI Resources has been at the forefront of highlighting and addressing the systemic challenges within the program. In this interview, we'll explore these issues and discuss potential solutions. Can you tell us about the primary challenges disabled consumers are facing in the Medicaid ABI Waiver Program?
The most pressing challenges include misleading practices where individuals are diverted from their actual rehabilitation needs, a reduction in service quality due to managerial misdirection, and coercive tactics in service utilization. Consumers face financial manipulation, leading to a dependency trap, and there's a notable lack of transparency and consumer choice in the services provided.
How do these challenges impact the mental health and recovery prospects of disabled individuals?
These challenges have a profound impact on mental health, leading to stress, anxiety, and a sense of helplessness. This psychological distress can significantly impede recovery and rehabilitation, undermining the overall goal of fostering independence and improving quality of life.
What role can federal intervention play in addressing these issues?
Federal intervention is critical. It can ensure that the program adheres to ethical standards and disability rights, implement stricter oversight, and mandate transparency in service provision. By setting national standards and providing guidelines for ethical practices, federal authorities can help restructure the program to be more consumer-centric.
What specific changes would ABI Resources like to see implemented to improve the situation?
We advocate for a comprehensive overhaul of policies to prioritize consumer needs. This includes enhanced training for care managers, clearer communication of consumer rights, and a more straightforward advocacy process. Additionally, involving disabled individuals in policymaking and service design is crucial to ensure that their voices are heard and their needs are met.
How can we ensure that the voices of disabled consumers are amplified in decision-making processes?
Amplifying their voices requires involving them directly in advisory boards and decision-making committees. Regular feedback mechanisms, consumer satisfaction surveys, and a transparent grievance redressal system can also ensure that their experiences and needs are central to service improvements.
This conversation with ABI Resources highlights the urgent need for systemic reform in the Medicaid ABI Waiver Program in Connecticut. By focusing on consumer-centric solutions and advocating for federal oversight, we can work towards a system that truly supports and empowers individuals with disabilities. Thank you for joining us in this important discussion. Can you discuss the importance of transparent communication in these services, particularly for families and caregivers?
Transparent communication is vital. Families and caregivers need to be fully informed about the available services, the rights of the consumers, and the mechanisms in place for feedback and grievances. Clear and regular communication can empower them to make informed decisions and advocate effectively for their loved ones.
In what ways can technology be leveraged to enhance the services provided to disabled consumers?
Technology offers immense potential to enhance services. Digital tools can facilitate better communication, provide accessible educational resources, and enable remote consultations and support. Additionally, technology can streamline service delivery, making it more efficient and personalized.
How can we better address the unique needs of consumers with brain injuries in these programs?
Addressing the needs of consumers with brain injuries requires specialized training for care providers, individualized care plans, and access to resources that specifically cater to brain injury rehabilitation. Additionally, involving specialists in the planning and delivery of services is crucial.
What changes would you suggest to ensure that service plans are more aligned with individual rehabilitation goals?
Service plans should be developed collaboratively with the consumer, their family, and healthcare professionals, focusing on individual rehabilitation goals. Regular reviews and adjustments based on progress and changing needs are essential to ensure these plans remain relevant and effective.
How can the state and federal government better support initiatives that promote independence and self-sufficiency for disabled consumers?
Support can include funding for programs that focus on skill development, employment training, and community integration. Additionally, Policy initiatives that encourage and incentivize service providers to focus on independence and self-sufficiency are essential.
What role should medical professionals play in overseeing and guiding the services provided to disabled individuals?
Medical professionals should have a central role in overseeing and guiding services. Their expertise is crucial in developing appropriate care plans, monitoring progress, and ensuring that services are aligned with medical and rehabilitation needs.
Our discussion today with ABI Resources has brought to light the critical challenges and necessary steps for reforming the Medicaid ABI Waiver Program in Connecticut. Their commitment to advocating for the rights and well-being of disabled individuals is a testament to the importance of addressing these systemic issues. Thank you for joining us in this insightful and meaningful conversation. How can we ensure that disabled consumers have a voice in policymaking and service design?
Ensuring a voice for disabled consumers can be achieved by involving them in advisory committees, focus groups, and policymaking processes. Their direct experiences and insights are invaluable in designing services that truly meet their needs. It's also important to facilitate accessible platforms where their voices can be heard without barriers.
What steps should be taken to better educate consumers and families about their rights and the services available to them?
Education can be improved through accessible information resources, regular workshops or webinars, and one-on-one counseling sessions. Ensuring that information is available in various formats to accommodate different disabilities is also crucial. Moreover, proactive outreach is essential to ensure that this information reaches those who need it most.
What impact do these service limitations have on the social integration and community involvement of disabled individuals?
Service limitations significantly hinder social integration and community involvement. Without adequate support, disabled individuals may find it challenging to engage in community activities or social interactions, leading to potential isolation and a reduced quality of life. It's vital that services not only address medical needs, but also facilitate broader social participation.
Can you discuss the psychological effects on consumers when they feel trapped in the current system?
Feeling trapped in the system can lead to increased feelings of powerlessness and frustration. It can exacerbate feelings of depression and anxiety, especially when individuals feel they have no control over their care or future. This psychological impact can be as debilitating as the physical challenges they face.
How do these practices affect the long-term financial independence and employment prospects of disabled consumers?
Current practices that do not prioritize skill development and independence can adversely affect the long-term financial independence and employment prospects of disabled consumers. Without the right support and opportunities, individuals may find it difficult to secure meaningful employment, which is essential for financial autonomy and self-esteem.
Our in-depth conversation with ABI Resources today sheds light on the urgent need for systemic change in disability care and advocacy. The insights provided highlight the importance of a collaborative, inclusive approach that genuinely considers the needs and voices of disabled individuals. We thank ABI Resources for their dedication and efforts in championing these crucial issues. This interview serves as a call to action for all stakeholders to work towards a more equitable and effective system of care. What are the most common concerns you hear from consumers and their families regarding these services?
We frequently hear concerns about the lack of personalized care and the feeling of being just a number in the system. Families are also worried about the quality and relevance of the services provided, and they express frustration over the bureaucratic hurdles that prevent them from advocating effectively for their loved ones.
How can better oversight and regulation improve these issues?
Improved oversight and regulation can ensure that services are delivered in a manner that truly meets the needs of disabled consumers. This includes enforcing standards for personalized care, ensuring that service providers are adequately trained and qualified, and establishing transparent mechanisms for feedback and accountability.
In your opinion, what immediate steps should be taken to address these issues?
Immediate steps include conducting a thorough review of current practices, engaging with consumers and their families to understand their needs better, and implementing interim measures to address the most pressing concerns. Additionally, there should be an immediate effort to improve transparency and communication with all stakeholders.
How can disabled consumers and their families be better supported in navigating the system and advocating for their rights?
Support can be enhanced through the provision of clear, accessible information about the system and their rights within it. Dedicated advocacy services and support groups can also play a crucial role in helping consumers and families navigate the system and effectively advocate for their needs.
What changes are needed in the training and qualification of care managers to better address the needs of disabled consumers?
Care managers need comprehensive training that includes a focus on disability rights, ethical care practices, and the specific needs of different disability groups. Ongoing professional development should also be a requirement, ensuring that care managers stay up to date with the latest best practices and regulatory requirements.
How can we ensure that the voices of disabled consumers are amplified in decision-making processes at both state and federal levels?
Incorporating the voices of disabled consumers in decision-making can be achieved by establishing formal channels for their participation, such as advisory councils or committees. It's also important to create environments where their input is not only heard, but actively sought and valued.
This interview with ABI Resources has highlighted the numerous challenges and opportunities in the Medicaid ABI Waiver Program. Their advocacy and insights offer a roadmap for meaningful change and improvement in services for disabled consumers. Their commitment to these issues is commendable, and it underscores the necessity for dialogue and action to create a more inclusive and effective system. Thank you for joining us in this critical conversation. What role do you see for federal authorities in monitoring and ensuring compliance with disability rights and service standards?
Federal authorities have a pivotal role in setting and enforcing standards for disability services. They should monitor compliance regularly and take decisive action when violations occur. Federal oversight is essential in ensuring that state programs adhere to the principles of fairness, transparency, and respect for the rights of disabled individuals.
Can you suggest ways to improve transparency in the allocation of services and resources?
To improve transparency, there should be clear documentation and communication of how services and resources are allocated. This includes public reporting of service outcomes and criteria used in decision-making. Additionally, creating platforms for feedback and discussion with stakeholders can foster a more transparent and inclusive process.
How do these issues intersect with other systemic challenges in healthcare and social services?
These issues are part of broader challenges in healthcare and social services, including disparities in access to care, inadequate funding, and a lack of coordinated care. Addressing these systemic issues requires a holistic approach that considers the interconnectedness of different facets of healthcare and social services.
In your opinion, what role should medical professionals play in overseeing and guiding the services provided to disabled individuals?
Medical professionals should be central in guiding and overseeing services for disabled individuals. Their medical expertise is crucial in ensuring that services are appropriate and effective. They should also be involved in policy development and oversight to ensure that medical perspectives are integrated into service delivery.
How can we ensure that disabled consumers have a voice in policymaking and service design?
Disabled consumers can have a voice in policymaking and service design by actively involving them in advisory roles, consultation processes, and research initiatives. Ensuring that their perspectives and experiences are considered in all stages of policy development and service design is key to creating responsive and effective programs.
Our discussion today with ABI Resources has been enlightening and informative, uncovering the depth and complexity of the challenges faced by disabled consumers in the Medicaid ABI Waiver Program. Their advocacy work highlights the critical need for systemic reform and increased involvement of all stakeholders in creating a more equitable and effective service system. We extend our gratitude to ABI Resources for their insights and unwavering commitment to improving the lives of disabled individuals. Thank you to our listeners for joining this important conversation.